The Puck Portfolio with Andy MacNeil.
Hey, welcome to the Puck Portfolio. I'm your host, Andy MacNeil. I'm here weekdays to provide NHL projections, advice, and strategies to help you make informed bets throughout the NHL season. This show is sponsored by NorthStar Bet, which is now available Canada-wide. I'll be using NorthStar Bet's odds on this show. They offer early NHL odds on the next day's NHL games and a whole lot more, so check them out via the link in the description below. If you enjoy the show, please like this video and subscribe to the Canada Sports Betting YouTube channel right now. Now, this is where I would typically break down my betting record year to date. I do that once a week. I've got some catching up to do, though, logging closing lines from the last couple of days. So I'm going to save that for Tuesday's show. No real change from last week anyway, which is not a bad thing. I took some big swings throughout the week. I managed to live to fight another week. I didn't go back to zero. I didn't lose more than a little bit of pocket change. I went into Friday with a lot of confidence, and rightfully so. I went 3-0 on Friday, but maybe a little bit too much confidence heading into Saturday. I went 0-3. Great example of what kind of swings you can go through over just a couple of days betting on this stupid sport. One thing that has stood out, though, is that I'm not winning nearly as much as I could be, and that's because I'm over betting some games and under betting other games, and I track how my model does with the staking method, the Kelly criterion method that I use typically, and it's been doing a lot better with just a straight flat betting method. So that's what I'm going to do for a little bit here going forward. I'm going to bet 1 unit when I'm betting on an underdog to win whatever the odds say the return is. I'll be risking to win 1 unit on favorites. So if it's minus 145, I'll risk 1.45 units to win 1 unit. I'll mix in some half unit plays here and there, but as far as my best bets, they're going to be flat 1 unit bets until I say otherwise. Let's get into a bit of a schedule breakdown, shall we? If you've been here before, you know what you're looking at. This is for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Just 2 games on Monday. We're going to talk about Monday and Tuesday on the show here today. If you want to take a screenshot of this, you can right now. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time here. The rest column tells you how many days rest teams have across the league. The load column gives you a little bit more context. As you can see, some teams playing 3 games in 4 nights, 4 games in 6 nights, etc. You're going to see 6 games in 9 nights a little bit later this week. I'll talk about that here shortly. But yeah, let's get into the projections for today. If you've never been here before, I share my projections for each game. I tell you which games I'm betting on. And I tell you how much I'm risking on those bets, and then I move on. I don't really mess around here. So just 2 games on Monday. As I said, the Oilers in action for the first time since Jay Woodcroft's firing on Sunday morning. New head coach Chris Knobloch will be behind the bench, along with new assistant coach Paul Coffey, Oilers legend. Anyway, the Oilers, they get a slight boost here thanks to the new head coach. You know, even if Jay Woodcroft didn't do anything wrong, maybe the hope is here that the new head coach will get this team heading in the right direction. I'm not sure if that's the case. And I think that the betting market is overvaluing the Oilers a little bit too much here. That said, I'm a little bit lower on the Oilers than most, I think, now. So I'll consider betting 0.5 units on the Islanders at plus 160 or better if it gets there. But the current odds at NorthStar Bet list the Islanders at plus 140, so not quite there right now. And it would only be a small bet if anything. But let's get into Tuesday's odds, shall we? The Boston Bruins at the Buffalo Sabres. Sabres forward Alex Tuch, he's listed as questionable heading into this one after missing the last 2 games. And Boston's goaltending is great again. So the Sabres missing a valuable forward, not a great thing for Buffalo in a game versus the Boston Bruins. Jeremy Swayman, he's been especially good, second in goals saved above expected behind only Thatcher Demko of the Vancouver Canucks. Linus Ullmark's been really good too, though. He ranks 12th in goals saved above expected. I'm projecting he will get the start against the Sabres, his former team, on Tuesday. The projection model says Boston should be a minus 154 favorite. The sportsbook, NorthStar Bet, says the Bruins are minus 155, so no interest there right now. The Pittsburgh Penguins in Columbus taking on the Blue Jackets. It's a tough stretch of hockey here for Columbus. They've been doing pretty good. They haven't come up with many wins, but there's a lot of fight in this team. I like this team quite a bit, but they're in the middle of playing 7 games in 11 days. Not an easy stretch by any means. Patrick Laine, he's back in the Columbus lineup, though, and that's huge. But Pittsburgh, they're finding their legs. They've got 4 wins in a row. 2 of those wins are shutouts. they're deserving of at least a minus 159 price tag in this one, according to the projection model. So the odds, they're going to have to move quite a bit into the plus 170 range before I'll consider backing the Columbus Blue Jackets in this spot. Calgary Flames at the Montreal Canadiens. Flames goaltender Jacob Markstrom is questionable after missing both games over the weekend. Markstrom ranks sixth in goals saved above expected, according to Evolving Hockey. The model says Calgary should be a minus 150 favorite if Markstrom is in goal, but in the minus 125 range otherwise. So I definitely would not be playing minus 150 on the Calgary Flames. Calgary, they've got big time loser energy right now. The players like Nikita Zadorov, they want out. Why would you want to lay a big price on this team? At least not right now, right? So I might bet on the Canadians. There are some shops that are listing Montreal in the plus 130s, maybe even the plus 140s still. But given that will be a minus EV bet if Markstrom is in goal, I don't want to chance it, so I'm holding off for right now. I don't got a lot of interest in this game at the moment, but the Vegas Golden Knights are in Washington to take on the Capitals, and with Chandler Stevenson, Nicholas Waugh, and Nicholas Hag out of the lineup, the Golden Knights, they aren't as deep as they could be. Washington plus 130 according to NorthStar Bet right now. The projection model says they should be at plus 129, so I'm closer to betting on the Capitals than I am the Vegas Golden Knights, but nothing at the moment. The Arizona Coyotes, they are in Dallas to take on the Stars. And now here's a quick reminder of just how fast season-long percentages can be impacted by one game. Now, before Sunday's game against the Wild, Dallas ranked 29th on the power play with just 10% conversion rate, 10.8% conversion rate. But after going 5 for 8 on Sunday on the power play against the Wild, the Stars are now 17th in the NHL at 20%. So that's really something to keep in mind there when looking at the season-long percentages. They can be impacted and skewed quite a bit by just one game. But I have the Stars projected to be the best team in the Central Division heading into the season. And that's what they look like right now. They're starting to put everything together, it seems like. But I think we're also going to learn a lot about this team over the next several weeks. Their competition, it's going to be quite a bit tougher than it was overall in the next several weeks than it was in the first several weeks of the season. So obviously Dallas, they can crush a team like they did the Wild on Sunday, 8-3, but it's not like the market is really undervaluing them right now, I don't think. So, I mean, bet on the Stars, you'll probably win your bet, but I don't know. I don't think it's a good bet. They have not been a profitable team at home this season. They haven't been a profitable team for a while. They weren't last season. The Coyotes, they're coming off a wild win in Nashville over the Predators. Their odds, they're going to have to move a lot more, get a lot lower before I'll be interested in betting on them in this spot, though. The Stars, like I said on Friday's show, not a team to mess around with. Unfortunately, I messed a bit around with them a little bit and lost my bet on the Winnipeg Jets. The Anaheim Ducks in Nashville taking on the Predators. It's going to be the first half of a back-to-back for the Ducks. They'll be in Colorado on Wednesday to take on the Avalanche. Trevor Zegras has missed the last two games for the Ducks. He's got an upper body injury, but he's been pretty invisible when he's been out there anyway. Anaheim, they played over their heads to start the season. Now they're starting to look like they're coming back down to earth a little bit. Same goes for the Nashville Predators, who started out looking like they would be the surprise team of 2023, but they've now drifted back to the mushy middle of mediocrity. So the Nashville, they've lost 3 in a row, 6 of their last 8 overall. Even UC Saros doesn't look good. Minus 2.8 goals saved above expected year to date. Not great for the Nashville Predators. The model says the Predators should be minus 126 on the money line. NorthStar Bet has the Ducks at plus 130 though. So some interest in the Ducks, just not enough interest right now to consider betting on Anaheim at plus 130. Big news out of Tampa Bay Lightning practice on Monday morning. Andrei Vasilevskiy is back at Lightning practice. Nikita Kucherov is back. That was to be expected. Kucherov missed Saturday's game with an illness, but I was guessing he would be back in the lineup on Tuesday. But look, I'm not going to get excited here about Andrei Vasilevskiy being back at practice. He's had to return at some point, and I doubt that he would be playing in his first game after just appearing in his first practice with the team all season long. So I'm not going to worry about Andrei Vasilevskiy. I'm betting the Blues here, plus 128. I was able to get plus 150 actually last night. But I still think the Blues are a good bet at plus 120. At plus 140 in that range, they're a great bet. They're still a great bet at plus 128 though. If we assume that Andre Vasilevsky is not going to be ready, I'm willing to take that risk here. So plus 128 on the St. Louis Blues. The projection model says the Blues should be plus 114 on the money line if Jonas Johansson or Matt Tompkins is in goal. So I've got the Blues plus 128 on the money line. You look at Tampa Bay, they are not an elite team, and I know it's going to change when Andre Vasilevsky is back in the lineup. They'll be closer to being in that area, but he's not, and he's not expected to be back in the lineup until American Thanksgiving. Looks like that could be a little bit ahead of schedule now, but I doubt he'll be in the lineup on Tuesday. If anything, he'll be backing up, and I mean, you look at Tampa Bay's underlying metrics and they actually resemble that of the Blues. Like I said, they're not an elite team. There's not a lot separating these clubs and the Blues. They've got some scoring talent mixed in with a below average roster, and I think that talent is building some confidence, especially after their blowout win over the Avalanche on Saturday. And they've been good at home so far this season too. So give me the Blues for 1 unit on the money line at plus 128. But yeah, consider the fact that Andre Vasilevsky is nearing a return. The other bet that I have for Tuesday is the New Jersey Devils at Winnipeg Jets. Look, Jack Hughes, he's out indefinitely. Nico Hischier is out until late November. All of a sudden, the Devils look pretty mediocre. New Jersey, they're still tough to play against at even strength. They rank among the top 10 in expected goals and shots since October 26th, the day after Hughes suffered his injury. But their goaltending has not been good. Their offense ranks 24th in goals per 60 minutes during that stretch. And they really miss Jack Hughes' zone entries, his shot, and everything else that he brings to the lineup. It really changes the makeup of their game. And they certainly miss Nico Hischier's defensive play. The Devils have not been good on the penalty kill. Their goaltending has not been strong. The Jets' effort on Saturday against the Stars was piss poor, to say the least, but they've been playing some good hockey overall. They've also had an easy schedule, though. So the teams that they've outplayed based on expected goals: Calgary, Florida, Vegas, St. Louis, Detroit, Montreal, Arizona, Nashville. A few tough teams, but far from a murderer's row, right? So they didn't look good in games against the Kings, the Oilers, the Rangers, the Dallas Stars. So my initial thought would be that they will struggle against an elite team like New Jersey. But with Hughes and Hischier not in the lineup, it's a completely different team and one that belongs in the mushy middle, not in the elite class. So I'm on the Jets minus 113 to win 1 unit. The Jets are minus 113 at NorthStar Bets currently. And that's my second and final bet for Tuesday as of right now. So it's the Blues plus 128, 1 unit to win 1.2 units, and the Jets 1.13 units to win 1 unit on the money line. Both bets on the money line. The Florida Panthers in San Jose to take on the Sharks. Now, the model says the Panthers should be a minus 275 favorite, and the Sharks, they've been outscored 66-18 this season. So yeah, you can kind of see why. That works out to a goal differential of minus 3.2 per 60 minutes. That's twice as bad as the next worst team, the 2019-20 Red Wings, dating back to 2007, 2008. So yeah, I mean, an edge on the Florida Panthers. Not surprising here, but I don't need to lay minus 240 on the Florida Panthers, the current odds at NorthStar Bets. The model thinks that's a pretty good bet, but the Panthers, they played in some close games against some bad teams lately. I think the Florida Panthers are a good team, but they've been playing down to some opponents, and games have been a little bit too close for my liking. I'm not interested here at all in laying a big price with the Florida Panthers. I'm very happy with my bet on the St. Louis Blues. I'm not scared of Andre Vasilevsky. But yeah, that does it for today's show. Once again, the Blues plus 128, 1 unit risk on that one to beat the Tampa Bay Lightning. The Winnipeg Jets minus 113, 1.13 units to win 1 unit to beat the New Jersey Devils on the money line. Both bets for Tuesday, no bets for Monday at this time, but I will let you guys know on Twitter at Digital Gambler if that changes. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you on Tuesday.